Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. It's about that time. It's about that time of the week when you get ready for your work week with the man that is so smooth he does not require a chaser. Your main man, the real, still the real Anthony D. And your main man, Jersey's finest, the hood representative, Uncle Freezie. Yo, what's good, everybody? Good mornings. Old School Knicks in the building. Appreciate the love.
Always. Salute to the Knicks fans for joining us again here on another Old School Knicks journey with the dynamic duo. I mean, I did put out a certain attire that we were supposed to be rocking this morning, but you know, the deacon couldn't get it together this morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Nah, man. you gotta listen to them Commodores, bro. You gotta listen to them Commodores, bro. Because we easy like a Sunday morning.
Like yes. Sunday morning, I hear you, sir. Uncle Freezie. What's going on? Good morning.
Ain't nothing to it, man. Ain't nothing to it. Just got some topics to talk about this morning, man. Just gonna try to get through it as smoothly as possible. It's a lot of questions to ask. Some questions that I didn't get to ask during the summer. I want to kind of go through them right now. That way we can kind of.
Charles Oakley's the greatest power forward Knicks history.
You already know. You already know who the greatest center in NBA history is.
Okay.
Yeah. We already know. But first, before I go there, bro, let me first say, bro, I think we have the most fire intro in the game.
As I'm listening to it, Uncle Freezie, all I'm thinking is, and for fans who don't know, me and Freezie been rocking, or associated for like a little over 2 years now. We have not met physically in the physical form.
Right.
But that Miami Vice intro says only one thing: when we finally get it together and we drop topping and something mean. I'm sorry for our significant others, but we're gonna have to touch the street. We're gonna have to touch the street. I'm so sorry. That's what that intro says. Is that Freeze? I think I'm gonna have to let you drive though.
All cash transactions too, bro. By the way,
yes,
nothing tracing us back.
Absolutely.
No cars, nothing tracing back. What were y'all doing over here? Nah, none of that. All cash transactions.
None of that. We was helping get the collection plate together. That's all
for sure. Let me before I just need to hear just hear the very beginning of the intro real quick.
Absolutely.
Because I can't believe how fire this joint is. This joint is fire, y'all. I can't believe. This joint is fire. If you got a Knicks show out there and you don't have an intro like this, look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block. Y'all know the Knicks run the city. Pull them shades back. Look out your window. Look down there on the block. That's Knicks fans right there. Yo, that sound like we about to solve the case right there.
That sounds like the case is already solved.
yeah, that sounds like the case is already solved and we about to celebrate. For
Yep,
sure.
that sounds like Crockett and Tubbs on the boat heading out. It's already finished.
It's already finished.
I was watching some of the original Miami Vice the other day, Freezie. I forgot how good that show was, yo.
That was a great show, bro.
Yeah, I forgot how good that was, yo. Especially
that was...
the pilot, the very first one.
Yeah, man.
When Crockett and Tubbs meet up.
Yeah, that was
absolutely. And no disrespect to the movie, but that was okay. But for those of us who we from that era and so forth, we remember, all of a sudden Lennon became Lennon and Shark and what's that shiny material? What's that shark skin?
Shark skin,
yeah. That became the going out attire right there.
Yes.
There was no more ties. Ties is done.
I wanted the prom, bro.
Yes.
I was Miami Vice themed to prom. To my prom, man, I wore like a white linen suit with a pink shirt and one of them Tubbs neckties, the one that you don't put on quite right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And some white loafers.
That was it. The Philip Michael Thomas look, because he was killing them. Once he came on the scene, he was killing them. That was it.
And we remember him from Sparkle. Like, if
yes,
you're from the hood, you kind of remember him from Sparkle, right?
He's the original conduit, because that's what I call that role. He's the one that believes in her, and the original Sparkle. Oh my God, Freezie.
Yeah.
No disrespect to the remake.
The remake.
That was fine, but it's not the original Sparkle.
Right. It reminds me of my transition from Lady Sings the Blues to Sparkle, bro. For me.
Watching that the other day.
For me, yeah, man.
Watching Lady Sings the Blues the other day.
You just gonna let my hand fall off?
You're just gonna let my hand fall off?
Yeah.
Like, Richard Pryor is just... The funniest thing is he had like a big role in the beginning when he gets the part, but they couldn't leave him out.
Yeah.
Every time they tested him on screen with Diana, they couldn't leave him out.
Yeah, he just popped, bro.
Yeah, because he's just of that cloth from that time. Richard Pryor grows up in a hoe house.
Yeah. Yeah. He probably seen everything, bro.
You've seen it all, right. Long before time.
Right.
That's not boy nor girl. That's you're not supposed to be in an environment like that as a child.
Right. Right.
And that's where all of that comes from. That's why he's so good in his movie roles.
Yeah, man.
The comedy's one thing. But his movie roles, especially when he wasn't supposed to be the guy, once he gets in there, you can't do nothing with him.
You can't do nothing with him. You got to put him out there.
It's the same thing with the Mac.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, that there's lines in there where him and oh my God, the main player in the Mac, they're there. And they're just really just talking.
Right.
And he said, well, I can't understand, how some players, let this happen. He said, why? Because your game's strong. Goldie, your game is strong. Goldie, your game is strong. That's it. That's not written. They're just freestyling, because that's just, you couldn't get them out. But, before we go all the way in our old school vibes, because that's what it is. But where are we at in Knick Nation? What are these questions that are burning the hole in your heart to ask me here?
I think Knicks Nation, because I think I know where you are, but I think Knicks Nation deserves or is wanting to know a few things, right? So for one, being honest, and I mean being absolutely honest Like thinking back, say rewinding the calendar back 1 year and remembering how you felt about this team not getting Donovan Mitchell. How do you feel about the Knicks' performance in the 2022-23 season? Like how do you like this time last year we were like, man, we didn't get Donovan Mitchell. This time last year we were like, they paid RJ Barrett how much? That's what we were thinking about. That's what we were thinking about 365 days ago.
Look how fast time flies.
Right.
Look how fast time flies. Because at this time last year, you know, I was the Japanese samurai, you know, cutting up anything that even wanted to possibly tell me that Donovan Mitchell wasn't supposed to be here.
Right. Me too.
It's just, you know, I'm sure the receipts are out there, the videos are out there, the audio is out there.
Right.
I was absolutely a wreck.
Right.
You know, just an absolute wreck that it didn't get done, and you know, all that we heard after
from June from June 25th to September 1st, all we heard was Donovan Mitchell as a Knick.
I'm gonna forever call that the Earth, Wind, and Fire, because all they had in the end was reasons. So they
yeah, man.
Reasons. You know, that was my first song I danced to. First song I breathed it up to ask a young lady to dance to was Reasons.
I swear, sometimes y'all make me feel like y'all make me feel old. I
That
don't
was
know
it.
why y'all do that, bro. Y'all be making me feel old, bro. It's like, it's like when you get to a certain age, like me and Wiz, like Wiz might be and Nick Yak and others are probably like 5 or 6 years older than me, right? And then y'all say stuff like, yeah, man, I used to dance to a song.
That was it.
Reasons. And I'm like, fuck. Am I that old? I was at work listening to that song on Kiss the first time I heard it. I remember getting off work, getting ready to go to a party, right? And they played that song on a TV show called New York Hot Tracks with Carlos de Jesus.
With Carlos, yes.
Yeah, man. And Carlos de Jesus used to be so smooth, bro. In that Miami Vice era.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
He was definitely Miami Vice. Carlos was definitely Miami Vice.
Yeah.
But that was it. That record was it.
Oh yeah.
When I came on, I'm standing there like the scene in the wood. The song is going by, and I'm like, I'm about to fumble the moment. I'm about to fumble the moment, Freezie.
Right.
Phil, it was like, okay, there's no going back here. It wasn't my smoothest, but I got it done.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, so Jay Boogie says, "Can I get the link?" Sure, Jay Boogie, if you want to. Me and ADA ain't rocking in a minute, man. But you know,
Jay Boogie,
man, the brother. Jay Boogie, what's good, man?
Salute to the God.
Yeah, I hope Jay Boogie ain't talking about them sorry Giants though.
I hope not, because we're gonna cut him off screen immediately.
We're gonna have to,
immediately.
Yeah, because them Giants is trash, bro.
They trash and we unlucky.
Yes.
We're forever unlucky. Freezie, I'm telling you, while we wait on Jay Boogie to come in, it's a nice little. As I told you, I'm coming back from Bahamas last week, and I'm rushing. I'm late. We land at about 7. The game is starting, whatever. You know, I'm all ready. I'm ready to go, Ryan. I'm ready to go. We're stuck. I never check bags, Freezie, but, you know, there's a certain contingency that, for some particular reason, you know, they got to check bags.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So I'm stuck at the carousel. I'm listening. I'm on ESPN, I'm listening, I'm hearing all of the lightning, the fireworks, the this, the that. Rodgers is running out with the flag. And then I lose connection for like a half a second. I finally get into the Uber, getting back in, and all I'm hearing is, and Aaron Rodgers is on the sideline.
And you're like, no.
That's 5 minutes ago. What the hell are we talking about?
What happened? What happened? Here go my man right here. Let me bring my guy in just real quick. So.
Let's get it. Y'all be spitting with your flows, I'm just podcasting. That's right. On the air every day, I'm just podcasting. What? You don't know what that mean when I say I'm podcasting. I'm broadcasting these flows with the podcasting. Every day of my life, I'm just podcasting. Right. Share my dreams with you, mean I'm podcasting. What? You can see my vision through the podcasting. Yeah. But don't forget J Boogie when I'm broadcasting. What? I'm podcasting, he's podcasting. What? I've been spitting this venom since Karate Flicks. When Mr. Sims was sharing nothing but the Knicks. I guess you know by now, I seen some tough years. Now I know the reason why Freezie got them Blorange Tears. Closest thing to the...
Damn, there he is. J Boogie, what's good, bro?
Hey, good late morning to you gentlemen, my brothers, man. My brothers, the ones, the real ones that you can say, and my brother's keeper. Yes, they are. They are real brothers keeper, these two gentlemen. Shout out to the chat, everybody up on this beautiful Sunday. Hope everybody in the greatest form of health, greatest form of life. Anything that you're going through, we don't pray that you only go through it. We pray that you get through it, and be on the healthier side of life, because it's beautiful. I just want to come up here and rock with y'all, man. I haven't been up on nothing in about 2 weeks now. So, I've been like, just laying in the cut for a minute, and I just seen y'all gentlemen rocking, man. I just wanted to come up here, dance to the 8-track, you know what I'm saying? Because when y'all come on, it's a serious 8-track playing, you know what I mean? Yes. The one where you got 8, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you press the button, you know what I'm saying? Some of these people don't know what an 8-track is, man. But God bless them, man. But I just want to say hello to my brothers and the family, man.
Salute, bro. Salute. Oh yeah, man. We was talking about you the other day, man. I was spitting on some furious, New Jersey hip hop tip, you know what I'm saying, the other morning, man. And I was like, I might have to reach out to somebody, you know what I'm saying? So
where'd you start that conversation, sir?
In my heart. No,
I mean song wise, entertainment wise. Where did you start that conversation?
Yeah, hip hop. Well, so hip hop is set out in the park. We used to do it out in the dark. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So you are you trying to figure out where it's coming from? Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
No, I thought you were. I thought you were going with the absolute godfathers. To me, in my mind, are Rapper's Delight.
Okay.
Right. I thought that's where you were going with it, because
the
moment I heard those guys, that was it. That was it. Sugar Hill Gang. The moment I heard Sugar Hill Gang, life had changed.
Yeah, I remember I was 12 years old when I first heard that, bro. I was like, "What is this?
What is?"
Yeah, but we saw. But to answer your question of where it comes from is we on Vibes and stuff. We did a list. Complex had a list of the top 50 New York rappers of all time. Mm-hmm. And AZ and Grandmaster Casanova Flower was not on the list, top 50, but they had Cardi B and Ice Spice on it.
That's not a list that's worth mentioning on the Blorange Tears network.
It's not even worth that. We did it on
not even worth mentioning. The Cardi B,
right? AZ is not on it.
AZ is not what? Hello.
And that's, you know what? And that's New York. They told me that's New York. We talking about New York. Right. How is it that AZ is not New York?
On the top 50, yep, top 50. And Grand Poobah, who y'all know is the dude that I feel like should be on the Mount Rushmore of
so
New York rapper. Yeah, they had him ranked behind I can't remember the list, but I think they had him ranked behind I don't know, Designer or somebody. I don't know. Something stupid.
Oh my God.
Something stupid.
Oh my God.
That's what we did. That's what we had to plug it and talk about. It made me so mad, bro. The list made me so mad.
Poobah, I mean, when you hear his verses on that monster album, you know, when you hear him on One for All.
Right.
And then when he breaks off, you know, because they always had their little issues, like all groups do. I love Brand Nubians.
Love them, bro.
They just had you know, not just because it's the era I'm from or whatever, but they just had his voice. Because remember, he's from the Masters of Ceremony.
Yeah.
Remember that record? That record.
Sexy. Used to be the right. Sexy used to be the little WBLS joint. Yeah, that used to be the little WBLS joint. Yeah.
You know, with the little local video, you know, he pulls up. I think he pulls up in a Jetta. Or something like that.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
and you know why y'all speaking on hip hop, 80, you know I gotta mention it, right? You know I gotta mention it, right?
What you gotta mention?
I'm gonna say this right here. I think this right here might have been his, before I say his name, I think this right here might have been a fight between second and third best album of his life.
Oh,
I know. I already know where he's at.
Yeah,
I already know what he's talking about. You know,
15 straight. You know, you can't say classical or classic without the word class. It's created from that.
Right.
But yo, for all those that try to throw Nas under the bus on that Magic 2, this thing he just dropped Thursday at 9 o'clock. AD, I saw you in your greatest moments that you ever been in the club with a glass and you was mingling. That's how classical this album. You probably had the flyest shirt on.
Right.
I don't know, Versace button up, whatever. Know what you had on that day at the club. But I'm so happy for that king, for this album they just dropped. And the music.
Shout out to Nas. No, Nas just recently had a birthday. He turned 50 like hip hop.
Yeah,
that's what he dropped it on his birthday.
Right. I think it was like this past week.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you get that narrative from, though, Boogie, that people don't. Nas is a god. You know, Nas is a god, but for some particular reason, when we look at hip hop and the listing, see, your list, Freezie, is going to be different than mine. Mine is going to be different from Boogie's. You see what I'm saying? To me, we're never going to have a consensus overall top 10.
Right.
Because the moment you say something that we're like, nah, it's always going to be what it is. You see what I'm saying? It's just that what I hope that as time goes on is that the guys who were the guys and the ladies who were the ladies in the game, their work and the material doesn't get lost. And we forget, because the latest and the new may sound good, we forget the material.
We forget about people like Sparky D.
Yeah, we forget about, we forget about when we heard Whose World Is This?
Yeah.
I heard it maybe like 5 times over the last couple of days.
Okay.
Masterful. Pete Rock on the production.
Yeah. Man.
Masterful.
Hey, when you said Pete Rock, I'm gonna say this one last thing, and I'm not gonna say anything else about because I don't know if you went and sat down and you listened to this album yet, anything, but I'm gonna tell you.
I haven't. So
okay, I'm gonna say this right here. I do not, J Boogie, I do not want Primo, Who else can I don't want none of them guys to try to do something with Nas and come behind this album because they can't do it.
Wow.
They cannot do it. I'm gonna say that. They can the level of production and beats and the switches and the samples that this guy did, Hit Boy did on this album is I haven't heard nothing like this in a long time.
Wow.
And I'm serious. I don't even want Primo, none of them guys to try to come and do any type album and Havoc, none Alchemist, none of them. Don't come behind this guy on this album. Because your level is not where this boy Hit Boy just went on this album right here.
Right.
And I'm talking straight. You know how the level that we want our Knicks to go and where they need to be to beat these teams that always mention to win it all.
Right.
That's where they went. He went LeBron, Kobe, Jordan on this.
Oh wow.
Top of the top. Top of the top.
Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna say anything else about that, but how y'all brothers think, man?
Nas is my guy, bro. Now the thing about it, real quick, before I ask AD these questions, man, that I had lined up for him, is anytime a brother says something like, the attribute Haji helper to another God in need, he Allah, God Islam, as I proceed to civilize the uncivilized word of wisdom to the groove from the wise. When somebody say something like that, bro, you know what they saying, bro?
What you talking about, Willis?
They teaching you in such a slick way. They took something so complicated and turned it into something palatable. Like all that man said right there, and like that first saying is, he's actually said a book full of stuff and squeezed it into 4 lines because he had so much to say, right? That man was like, yo, it starts with you, right? You gotta wise up your fellow man. You gotta look out for them. You gotta look out for the ones that ain't quite there, and you gotta be, you know what I'm saying, a part of the Most High to get to that divine state. And you're not gonna get to that divine state, right? You're not gonna get to that divine state without being connected. You gotta be connected, because if you're not connected and you out there in that wilderness by yourself, ain't gonna be much help out there until you get, man. Grand Poopa broke that thing down, bro. Yeah, Grand Poopa did.
On funky production.
Yes.
You see, that's where, I've heard a lot of guys spit over the years. A lot of guys, a lot of women, whatever. What people forget is that the battle thing and the face-off thing is great. All that's whatever. That don't get the women shaking. That don't get the club jumping.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You have to be like this with the instrumental.
Gotta be.
It can't be over there and you're over there.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It has to be the jockey to the horse.
Yeah.
You have to be able to ride that rhythm.
Right.
And it could be the most what I used to love this group. One of my guys, oh my God. They was on Dwick with Gangstar and them.
Nice and smooth.
Nice and smooth. That's one of the most ABC rhymes in the history of hip hop.
Right.
You can't take them off Dwick.
No, they stay in pocket, bro.
They're so in pocket with that. They're not on the level with Guru.
Lyrically, nah, but they don't. That's
nowhere near. But what? That's right there. Because what? They got rhymes and a rhythmic cadence that matches the track.
Yeah, they know music. The music is the most important thing.
This man had lyrics before that said, I knew a fat girl who broke the scale. I won't Teo. You won't
You won't
Teo.
tell.
What?
Yeah.
Does
I
that
can
make
tell. I must
sense?
confess. Yeah.
But you know what? Rhythmically, it works.
That
It
man
works.
said, yeah. Drive a red Sterling in the seats recline. I love it when a lady treats me kind. Go to tavern on the green and have a glass of wine. He say, she say, I heard it through the grapevine. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same reason why Rob Bass's record will play to the end of time.
Right. Right.
Listen to It Takes Two.
Right.
What does he say?
But that dude was winning MC of the year for years. Like, you know how they used to have a battle contest in New York City, the top MC, and he was like, yo, it was like, no, Rob, no, don't cannabis this track, bro. Don't inspect the deck this track. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just get this song. This beat is a hit by itself. Just get on there and just vibe to it.
They didn't like it. They didn't. I've heard him say this, that they didn't like it.
Yeah, because he wanted to obliterate the track, but they was like, no, don't do that, man. Just make good music, bro.
The moment they put it on, it's forever a universally loved party track.
Yep.
And it's not. And the great thing, a lot of club songs that's a banger can't bang out in another city or state.
Yeah.
That song, like that Rob Bass song, It Takes Two, that song was made for anywhere in the world. When you put that on in any club, anywhere, you rock with it. And it's not many songs that was ever made that was club bangers throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? You can rock, a couple people might rock to it, it's a New York song, but that song right there was made for everywhere it is in the world, man.
Banger.
It takes two.
Banger.
Because he said it takes two to make everything go right. That's facts.
Right.
I'm getting ready to jump off. When I jump off this screen, guess what? It takes two. It takes y'all two to make this thing go right every Sunday.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jay.
So, man. And I'm a fan, but really I'm gonna jump off with y'all, man. I just wanted to come and say hello to y'all brothers. I haven't seen y'all in a minute.
Absolutely.
I was on crushing some time waiting for something to be made. We got made and finished about 15 minutes ago. So I need to go in there and grab that so I can get back to the crib and get ready for this football Sunday, man. But
oh boy,
I'm coming. All you Brian Russells, I'm getting ready to give you that last second shot mic there, shove some people to the side. You may shove some, get off me in a minute.
You gonna hold the pose?
Yeah.
You gonna hold the pose?
No, I'm not even gonna hold the pose.
You gonna hold up?
No, I just want the shove.
You want
the shove? I just want the shove, man. Just give me the shove.
Seeing red. We seeing red today, man. Cardinals Nation seeing red today.
Absolutely.
See, I really tried to, I heard y'all ranking, telling jokes on me before I came on. I was in the backstage. I didn't say nothing about it. I said, I'm honor and respect y'all two guys for that. Right. I didn't say nothing about our squad, and now you throwing darts at me.
No, listen, can you just support another team without being disrespectful to another?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Depending on what day and time it is.
Yeah.
Generally right before kickoff, it's not the time to be respectful to another team.
Yeah, and then plus, just because I like Nas and Grand Poobah, don't mean I'm disrespectful to Jay-Z. I just like Nas and Grand Poobah. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. I feel that. I'm just not throwing those shots at you, man. Because you'll get on me and be like, oh man, Boogie, why you gotta come with always dagger hard blows? I'm trying to learn. No dagger blows, man.
That's our tagline for the day. I'm trying to learn.
I'm trying to learn, man.
No dagger blows, man. Just AD dagger clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Boss.
Dapper, man. Hey, but y'all have a blessed Sunday, man. Love y'all, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Y'all know what to do. Constantly continue. Hit that like button. Hit that button. Don't just let it sit there and you listening, you watching it. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you're not on right now and you come back and read the show, see the show later on, leave a comment. Do what you got to do. Love and support. It's almost a
That's fine.
season.
Yeah. Mr. Cheeks wasn't on that list either, J Buggy.
Huh?
Mr. Cheeks was not on that list either.
It's not worth discussing.
J. Rooted Damager was not on that list.
It's not worth discussing.
Anybody that has their own style, just because anybody that has their own style need to be up on the top list if they whack or not. Chicks had their own party style.
Right.
We didn't have a party style like that going on. Matter of fact, since Rob Bass.
Yeah.
Party style.
Yeah, man.
But it's okay.
Yeah, they got Ice Spice at 50. All time. They had Lil Kim ranked 7th all time.
Lil Kim ranked 7th all time?
7th all time New York rapper. You didn't ask me what Prodigy was ranked, by the way.
What is he, like 35th?
When I see his name, I'll let you know.
Oh my god. It's not worth discussing.
Yeah, it's not.
Hey,
Yeah,
God
man.
bless, man. Don't forget, you got to ask 80 them questions. I'm in the fan group right now.
Yeah, I got
questions and
have,
them answers.
right. So I have about 11 of them. So hopefully we can get through about 3 of them because they end up. Right.
11.
So,
we get to 3. It's gonna be that terrible.
Yeah. Because the first question is, how would you assess the Knicks' performance this past season based on how the last season's off season went?
I think you give them a B.
Okay.
B. Yeah, a B. No minus, no plus, just a good B.
Is it because the Knicks had 2 non-game winning streaks in the same season? Or is it because they overcame a lot of stuff? Or is it, oh, thank you, that's for me. You want me to come on camera?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess that solves that, right?
No, we gotta have Miss Mocha at least put her hand on camera when she passes you something. Like that, that official hand.
I tried to do the Ray Charles thing with her one time, and she snatched away. You remember how Ray Charles used to find out if somebody was fine, he'd rub their wrist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried to do this. She said, "Yeah, she too slick for that, bro. She
all the way up to the elbow."
Yeah, she too slick for that, man. I was trying to do that, but she ain't feeling that.
No, but a B, and it's because you did win a playoff round, Freezie.
Yeah.
You did win that is an accomplishment. It's not where we want to end up,
right
in the end, but that is an accomplishment.
But we also at the same time won 2 games in the second round. So it's not like you got to the second round and like that Homer Simpson meme when you just walk in and then you walk back out. Man, we were actually competitive in the second round.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's and I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but for me, Freezie, I want to make steps forward. I want to springboard off of what I thought was successful. It's the same thing 3 years ago with Atlanta. After Atlanta, we know what happened. They had no springs to springboard.
Right. And they had injuries too, though.
But what I'm saying is they didn't go out there and attack the off season.
Okay.
Right? This past off season, Dante DiVincenzo. Is Dante DiVincenzo the missing piece, the missing link to win a championship? Here's where my frustrations I'm gonna lose it with them. Because at some point in time, Freezie, the narrative that you're waiting for the disgruntled. See, now you have a narrative now that Greek Freak is now back into the mix because now Greek Freak is disgruntled every freaking day of the week.
Right.
So now he gets thrown into the Embiid and the, we got all these picks to line up for.
Right.
At some point in time, you have to spend what your reserve in order to get to the championship, Freezie. In order to get there and to win it.
Right. Right.
You see,
now,
when do you
understand
springboard? When do they? If you're not going to springboard off of a Brunson and off of Brunson's season and Randall again into another All NBA season, when do you make that pivot? When do you say?
I'm getting that. That's I'm getting there. I got. See, that's another question. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Right. So the thing is, with last season had a lot of ups and downs. Right. So it had the weird losses. Remember the weird loss to Dallas, where the team just looked like they just didn't want to play for Tibbs no more. Remember we thought Tibbs was gonna get fired. Remember we thought Tibbs was gonna get fired the next day. You remember that? We were like looking on Twitter, like seeing when Knicks PR was gonna spin it. And Tom Thibodeau decided to start a vineyard in the south of France. Knicks PR will, hey, it's the car wash, bro.
Yes.
Knicks PR is the car wash.
Yes.
We was waiting for the car wash to drop something like Tom Thibodeau decided to step away for health reasons, and he's gonna do a vineyard in Northern California, and you know what I'm saying? We thought they would, but then they went on a 9-game winning streak, and we were like, "Yo, we might not ever lose again." That was in December, because we came out, we blew out Cleveland. Remember, Cleveland was hot as fish grease at the time. Cleveland had beat up everybody. They came into the Garden. We won the second half of a back-to-back because we played. Dallas blew us out Saturday. Cleveland come in on that Sunday. They red hot. And conventional thinking is we just gonna let Cleveland just wash us up and they're gonna fire the coach. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a back-to-back. And then what happened is the Knicks came out and they washed Cleveland and they started a 9-game winning streak off of back-to-back games, which never happens, right? Never happens, right? But that season, even though we didn't get Donovan Mitchell, and I was frustrated, I could have easily have seen this team fold the tent. Randall make the All-Star team. RJ Barrett take all the shots. Jalen Brunson tried to assimilate and can't. I could see all those things playing out, but it didn't happen that way. Jalen Brunson kicked it into gear. And what happened was Randall and Brunson carried the Knicks over a 9-game winning streak when Quickly and RJ Barrett were playing terribly. RJ Barrett at the beginning of a season just makes you so mad. It makes you just want to holler. Right?
Yeah.
But my thing is though, last season, if we're talking about like the highlights or things that kind of gave us hope last year, yeah, man. Quentin Grimes after the All-Star break also shooting 40% from 3 probably helped save our season also. If we just being honest.
I mean, I think the season is saved because Tibbs galvanized the team and cut the bench and cut the players. He
benched Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish didn't play another minute for the Knicks after that.
Yeah, because he was available for that Dallas game.
Yep.
Whether you agree with it or not, that's the pivotal switch.
Right.
When because you started to hear the murmuring that they're planning to fire him.
Yeah.
Because things weren't going well.
Right.
And my thing is, only Tibbs could speak to, does he believe that they made enough movements to actually get to that Knicks.
Because at that moment, the Knicks were 10-13 at that moment.
Yeah.
The Knicks were 10-13.
Yeah. Coaches get fired for that.
Yep. Off to a slow start.
Yeah, off to a slow start. Coaches get fired for that because it looks like you don't know. You know, you got the Frenchman, giving interviews. You got, now D Rose is looking at you like I done lost all this weight to get back.
You told me, and you're not even playing me. Yep.
You're not even playing me. And I've mentioned this before. It is not easy navigating what you think is the best fit.
Right.
But what you have to respect about this coach and any coach is when they make the decision that this is what it's going to be. Okay.
Right.
This is because at the end of the day, y'all not getting fired if it goes wrong. I am.
Right.
And if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down my way.
Right.
And he chose to go down my way.
Yep.
Yep. So, next question.
Yeah. I think it just real quick in that question, the performance from last season, bro. There were a lot of highlights. Man, Jalen Brunson stepped up huge in a lot of games last year, especially in February and March. In February and March, Jalen Brunson proved to us that he was a megastar, or at least a superstar, or at least a star, right? Depending on how you view stars and stuff, right? Here's the thing I wanted to ask you, because it's going to lead up into what you were getting, where you would want to go with it. With the recent additions, man, Archie Diacono, Nate Knight, Dante DiVincenzo, do you feel like the Knicks did enough to get this team over the top?
No. Hell no.
Right.
And let's go back just half a second back into the last question. At some point, I remember you saying, yo, this is a good team. And this team could do some stuff. Right? You were like the first person that literally had pointed that out to me. Okay? From there, I went into thinking, okay, trading deadline is coming up. Where can the Knicks separate themselves or give themselves, an additional move that can help them?
Right.
To me, it seemed like Toronto was just totally out of it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted their point guard the worst way because I saw it early that when Brunson was not on the floor, they had a problem getting into offense.
Yep.
And to me, yes, you want to pay for what you paid for in order to get, a versatile swing guy who can, play the two, play the three, get you rebounds, tough defender. Okay. I have no problem with it. I would still make that maneuver, but there was more to get.
Right.
There was more to get. And as we're moving into a new season, that issue is going to come up again.
Okay.
Because you do not have enough to win it.
Okay.
Why did the Knicks not sign Christian Wood? Shooting big. How the hell does LA get him for 2 years, $5 million? When you need a big that can shoot.
Then Knicks don't feel like they need shooting, bro.
I don't understand it. Hometown discount. Like what did this kid do? Who's 26 years old? If that, average 18 and 9 last year, that he has to take a 2-year, $5.5 million deal.
Right.
Mind-boggling. And you weren't there to swoop in on that, to bring him in? What did he do?
Even if you only bring him in so that you can move him for trade bait. Even if, because he's a commodity, right? Even if you bring him in and then you trade Hartenstein, right? You know what I'm saying? Even if the possibility, even if you bring him in and just play him in a limited role, whatever you bring him in for, you have to be in the asset management business, right? Because what's going to happen is a lot of the struggles that we had last season, we're going to definitely have again this season.
If it's a Thibodeau thing, here's my thing to that. You lacked offense in the biggest moments of last season.
Yep.
Okay? Arguably, one of your best shooters was on the bench that you didn't even give him a look.
Right.
To me, if I'm going down, all hands on deck.
All hands on it. See if it's a pride issue. If it's a pride issue, then the personnel doesn't matter. You could have had Dominique Wilkins on the bench. If Tom Thibodeau don't like Dominique Wilkins, he's not gonna play him. I'm sorry, and that's even though that's not right. You're dealing with Tibbs.
But it's okay. Now that we're here on Tibbs, if he has another performance like he had against Miami, there's no way you bring him back.
Was he out coached?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. From the beginning.
But now here's the thing.
They were double teaming a man who hadn't even scored.
Right, but here's my question. Here's my question for you. You said if they have another performance like they had against Miami, you got to fire them, right? Do you need to see that against Miami, or can you see that against any team?
I think it's against any team.
Okay.
But I used the Miami because coming off of Cleveland, you started hearing that Jimmy Butler, he's calling Tibbs and blah, 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 and they're doing the whole media dance routine, song and dance routine or whatever. But it kind of made sense when you started watching how he was defending Jimmy Butler from moment one.
Right.
They hadn't done anything, and he was doubling, throwing off their defense rotations because they were paying attention to a dude who wasn't even hot yet.
He was hot against Milwaukee, though.
He was hot against Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We're not Milwaukee.
I understand it.
That was another series.
Yep.
He got to show you that he's still scorching. Remember, Butler is not the type of player. He's like Reggie Miller in that sense of, I can do 15 shots. He's not the type of player that, you know what, I'm so hot, I need it all.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So it made no sense to come right out and to say, well, you're going to make them go someplace else when they haven't even showed you that they're using him yet. He lets the game come to him.
Right.
He was throwing off his defense by doing this, and they weren't able to rotate properly to get back. It was crazy how he set the stage in that Miami game. It made no sense.
You know what they did too, which was I think is something that the Knicks should do, but they won't. And I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound super technical, everybody, but don't think about the technical part. Just think about just this small piece. They dragged Cody Zeller out to the corner, knowing that he can't shoot and won't shoot, right? They had Kevin Love, their power forward, that can shoot threes and pass a little bit at the top of the key. And they dragged their jumbo wing player that's not known for shooting, Jimmy Butler, under the rim and pinch small guards under the rim, right? And they got mismatches all day. And in my mind, I'm thinking, the Knicks should run that play every time. Get Mitch out of the paint, put him in the corner, because he's not going to shoot. He can't even shoot at the rim, right? Mitch ain't even going to shoot at the rim, bro. Mitch is a dunker, right? drag him away like they did Cody Zeller, and put Julius Randle at the top of the key like they did Kevin Love, and have RJ Barrett pin smaller guards at the rim and let RJ Barrett just eat on small guards all series long. But you know what they did? They let Josh Hart be a pick and roll ball handler.
Stay right there for a second, Freezie, with your last point. If you were the opposition, would you fall for Mitch going into the corner? Would you have your defense follow him 10 feet? Would you let?
Right.
No, you're gonna pack the paint.
Right.
Why the hell am I following Mitch?
Right.
Can't shoot, won't shoot.
Right. Right. But you got to follow that man because you don't want to get an illegal defense. You got to still be within a certain range. So they had to put somebody. Somebody has got to account for him. You can't just not guard.
No, what I'm saying is though, you're still gonna sag off at him. Like
Right.
the defender, wherever the ball is, he's not looking at Mitch and Mitch is gonna catch and shoot. He's looking where the ball is because he is no threat out there on the wing.
Right.
If it's not 5 feet and in, he is zero offensive threat.
No,
that's what he's shown us.
I get you, and that's the reason why I presented the Cody Zeller thing, because Cody Zeller is the same type of player. He ain't gonna shoot. He can't shoot from outside of 3 feet, right? But they drug him to, and Mitch had to at least go out there and at least honor the defensive rules, right? So my thing is with that, can you at least try something different instead of just being outcoached? Because our thing is our guy, and you know this, he was flat out outcoached in certain situations.
He was.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
He was.
So
when Miami threw that zone at them, another thing, when they threw that zone at them, they didn't see zoning against Cleveland.
Right. And Miami didn't throw the zone at the Knicks to shut down their offense. Miami threw the zone at the Knicks so they can rest up their starters. Remember, Miami had 2 starters on the bench. What they would do when 2 starters go to the bench, they'll get in zone to slow the game down so their starters can catch a break. And then when their starters came back, they got back into their aggressive man-to-man. Right? But Tibbs, when in those situations, if you saw it in game 1 and didn't recognize it and you went back and watched film, at least in game 2, you should be like, yo, this is what they did in the last game. This might be a pattern. You know what I'm saying? So when they do that, we're going to put Randall at the 5, Josh Hart at the 4, RJ at the 3, Grimes at the 2, and go small, right? Where you'll have shooting all around the floor. But he didn't. He put Mitchell Robinson at the free throw line to be a conduit and trying to turn Mitch into Draymond Green.
Made no sense.
And it still does, yeah.
Made no sense. His philosophies, and it just seems to be different than the exec's philosophy. You see what I'm saying? It's like some of these pieces that they've gotten to him, I don't think he wants them necessarily. You see what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I don't care what anyone says. He did not want Fournier.
Right.
But you gave him $80 million 2 years ago, so you had to play him.
Yeah.
And coming into that second season, Fournier hadn't grown defensively one iota.
Nah,
and it was only a matter of time that he was going to get rid of him.
Yeah. Fournier is a Chad Pennington figure.
Oh,
right?
Gosh, no.
Right.
Gosh,
so you know, and the reason why I say Chad, I'm talking about healthy Chad Pennington. I'm talking about healthy Chad Pennington.
That's so disrespectful.
To who? Chad Pennington?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The reason why I draw the comparison is you absolutely know what you're going to get out of Chad Pennington, right? If a team blitzes and Chad Pennington doesn't have anywhere to throw the football, you know he's going to get sacked because he's not going to scramble. He ain't going to turn into McNabb Chad Pennington was a statue quarterback with a pea shooter for an arm.
No, that's
But
Ken.
Dan,
That's Ken
but-
O'Brien.
him too, right? But Dan, not and Ken O'Brien was underrated, bro. I watched the Dolphins Ken O'Brien game where Wesley Walker had the 2 touchdowns in the first half against Miami. I watched that game yesterday.
I think he caught 4 in the game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So he caught 2 at the end, the last 3 minutes of the first half, right? But the reason why I bring it up is that with Fournier, you know what you're gonna get, right? But here's the thing: when it's all offense situations, you got to play Fournier, right? Because if it's for instance, that last play, our last play of the season, where where Jalen Brunson turned the ball over, you're supposed to have Evan Fournier out there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Because he can shoot. And you have to that corner respect that we just talked about with Mitch. If Evan Fournier's in that position, in that corner, the defender can't not have an eye on him.
He can't not respect Evan Fournier, leaving him wide open for 3.
Because he can shoot.
Right?
To me, Freezie, you have to be able to counter what the defense and what the other coach is doing. You can't be so stubborn and so rigid. Like I said, if you watch that last play again against Miami, and I know I've beaten this point to smithereens, right? But if you watch the setup, Freezie. RJ Barrett's not even looking at the ball.
Right.
He's like on the opposite side of where the play is developing. And I'm like, so is
Grimes. Grimes too. Grimes is in the opposite deep corner.
No, but I mean, his back is literally turned from the play.
Right. Okay.
At least Randall rushes in to help, to try and get an outlet for the pass. RJ is like, his back, as the play is developing, his back is turned to the play. He's nowhere near it.
I think what they were supposed to do right there, that backside action, was Grimes is supposed to come out of that corner and come up top for a look at the 3-pointer, and he stayed tucked in the deep corner. He stayed and that basketball 1-on-1. If you're a shooter that's not gonna put the ball on the floor, you got to get to open spaces and crease. You got to be Wayne Corbett. You're not bigger than everybody. You're not faster than everybody. So you're not Andrew. You're not a juke machine like Dante Hall. So in order for you to catch passes, you got to settle down in the zone, right? And Grimes didn't do that. And I'm not blaming Grimes. I'm not a Grimes hater. I hope Grimes is a fantastic young player. But in that situation, when RJ is headed that way, bro, you got to switch with RJ. RJ's taking his man over there with him, and you got to pop back up to the top of the key and knock down that Danny Ainge 3. Right? People think Danny Ainge was a 3-point shooter because Danny Ainge could knock down shots. No. Danny Ainge was finding spots in his zone when the teams were doubling Larry Bird and McHale. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm confident they'll look at tape and they'll get better at that. And then plus 2, I think Grimes was hurt. But you still got to put Evan Fournier on the floor right there. Right? You still got to put Evan Fournier. Because think about this. If Fournier, the score was 94-92, right?
Yep.
If Evan Fournier knocks down that 3,
you're up 1.
Then we're up 95-94 with like 13 seconds left to go. Right? Now it's on them without a timeout to come down and generate offense against your defense with Fournier on the floor. Right? Now, if you're Tibbs, do you use your timeout right there to get Fournier off the floor and bring in defenders? Or do you take the chance of them taking the ball out, wasting time on the clock coming down, and maybe only having 9 seconds to get a shot up?
I mean, 9
right?
seconds is eternity, but he fumbles that play all the way around. And I'm going to liken the play to another play that we remember. Remember Golden State, Cleveland, right?
Okay.
The Kyrie shot. You know where Kyrie is deadly at, that
Yeah.
right corner, right?
Yeah.
He gets the screen. He gets the mismatch, and the mismatch is Curry now trying to guard Kyrie.
Out on the island with
on the island and
no help. Yeah.
with no help. You know what? The world knows what's about to happen. It was going to be that step back.
Right.
Okay? And that's my thing. He doesn't help his best player out in the most pivotal moment of the game. Brunson doesn't get a screen.
Right.
Right? Brunson gets Butler and he runs into the corner and another defender jumps out.
Yeah. Trapping him.
But
they trapped him. But every time Brunson did that, they trapped him every time during the series. And for Tom Thibodeau not to know that Brunson's not going to get trapped right there is a bad coaching error.
I need my best guy to have a mismatch at the most pivotal part of the game.
Right. And you know what Brunson could have did right there? What he should have done is stayed in the middle of the floor so he couldn't get trapped. Right. And I think the coaching staff tried to account for the trap with a personnel move instead of accounting for the trap with a schematic move. They had a bunch of dudes they felt like could shoot and knock down the three, but they didn't put Fournier on the floor, which was probably, the biggest mistake.
All right, next question. We beat that one to death.
Yeah. I got time for one more, man.
All right.
I promise Mo that we'll do brunch. So
absolutely, brunch is important.
Brunch on Sundays, yeah.
Absolutely.
Paris Tucker, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Tucker says, "What up? Can't get back into it with Obi gone. That's facts. That's facts.
Let it go, Parrish. Let it go."
All right, so I'm going to ask you a half a question about that, and then I want to ask you about how confident you feel the Knicks are against the other beasts of the East, right? But here's my half question, right? What if Obi makes the All-Star team with Indiana?
Okay.
Okay.
We've seen this before. Remember, Washington had Rasheed Wallace, Weber, and Juwan Howard at the same time.
And Ben Wallace.
And Ben Wallace at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Portland had Brian Grant.
Again, yes.
Jermaine O'Neal, Rasheed Wallace. Remember that? Jermaine O'Neal couldn't even get off the bench.
And later on, our guy, Randolph. Excuse me.
Zach Randolph. Yeah.
Zach Randolph. So we've seen teams have a glutton at a certain position that they didn't know what to do with because obviously they didn't have a plan.
And you know what happened to those teams that didn't have a plan? They lost in the second round of the playoffs and then traded everybody and then wound up in the lottery.
Yeah. If Obi makes the All-Star, hey, Obi, great for you. I'm not going to be one of those guys that's going to revisionist and, that ship is passed. It's sailed.
Okay.
We can't sit here, I may not be the biggest Julius Randle fan.
Who, you?
Yeah, me.
Never. I would have never.
That man is second team All NBA twice in the last 3 years.
Right.
Is Obi going to do that next year? I think not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So if he has a good start to his Indiana, I like that place for him. He has a good point guard, good situation for him. Great.
Good shooting.
Good shooting around him.
Good
great.
depth. Yep.
But there's no time to cry for what if with Obi. That's gone. Sailed.
Okay. Okay. So how do you feel about the Knicks up against the other beasts of the East?
I think we're right there. We just haven't done anything to distance ourselves from them.
Okay.
Okay. I've been arguing, well, not arguing, but I've debated this thing with Boston and them trading Smart for Porzingis. I like the move. I don't think Smart is the same player that he has been over the last several years. I saw his defense in that Miami series in some pivotal moments. It wasn't Smart like.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and sometimes you can hold on to a guy because from what we've heard, it's like his team more so than either one of the other two wings.
Yeah.
He's like the dominant voice. He was the dominant guy. And how I would handle it is I need for one of the, Tatum. I need Tatum to galvanize this.
Okay.
Not Smart. Smart, not to kill Smart, but they've kind of exhausted that possibilities with that team based on what their strong suits were. And you had a first year coach last year.
Right.
That center position that they were trying to do with an old 35, 36-year-old center plus with Robert Williams, who's like Mitch 2.0,
right,
can't shoot outside of 5. That wasn't getting it done. Porzingis, whatever we may feel about Porzingis and his time here as a Knicks, Porzingis is an offensive weapon.
Yeah, he hurt already, bro.
That's fine. You don't play for the championship in September.
Okay.
It's fine. But you know what you get with Porzingis, that injuries could be a possible part of the thing. I don't care about that now.
It's going to be peculiar wearing.
Go ahead.
It's going to be peculiar wearing seeing him wear another number than 6.
What's his number?
6.
6?
Yeah, he can't wear 6 in Boston, bro.
Oh yes, he can't wear. Absolutely, that's Russell. That's Russell.
He can't split it in half and wear 33. He can't wear that either.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
If he helps them to get to where they want to be, he can. Then I'm sure they'll pull down one of those. But they have so many in the Raptors, it's.
Yeah, but they respect.
Looks like
they respect their franchise, bro. The Knicks don't respect anything.
As you should. Because we're 50 years from a championship.
Richard Nixon was president last time.
Yeah, and going into the soon-to-be impeached president and going into our 51st season, are we closer to a championship?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I think we'll be in the conversation, a playoff team, but are we as of right now presently constituted? Are we beating Boston? No. Are we beating Miami? No. Are we beating that's the Miami, that's a toss-up, I think, with Miami. But are we beating Milwaukee? I don't think so.
I think we beat all 3 of them teams.
Presently constituted?
Yeah. I think, first of all, I think we blow out Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee is in our class. Right? I think we can beat Miami, and I think we can beat Boston. I honestly think there was a changing of the guard this offseason. I think the 3 best teams in the Eastern Conference are
Dante DiVincenzo as your main catch?
The Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Atlanta Hawks are the 3 best teams in the East.
Wow.
And
you think the Hawks are better than Boston?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's big.
Because listen, you can't keep making changes. You can't keep making changes and don't think that at some point tinkering is not going to catch up with you. Tinkering catches up to everybody. You tinker to get better. If you tinker to get better and you don't get better, eventually you start getting worse.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying? It's like the date. It's like the date. It's like the dating scene. You ain't never been on a date, bro.
I would think that I
have. Yeah. It's like the dating scene, bro. When you out there dating, bro, you like, yo, I'm only dating R&B divas. That's it.
Mm.
And then when the professional office chicks show up, you like, you fine, you smart, you got everything, but you're not an R&B singer. So I mean, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And you keep going through that, keep tinkering, waiting on, and then Fantasia show up. You're like, oh, wait a minute, let me think about this R&B diva thing. Maybe I could go back to the office professional thing.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying with Boston. We've been watching basketball too long to see teams like this team right here. This Boston team reminds me of the 1980s Atlanta Hawks.
Oh no! Would you stop it? Come on.
Okay.
Tatum has been to a finals, Freezie. That Atlanta Hawks team never went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
I understand that.
At all. Tatum and this Boston team have lived at the very least in the Eastern Conference Finals. Stop it.
Right.
Stop it.
Right.
Stop it. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
I'm doing that. That's what they remind me of.
We're not going to.
That's what. But the thing I'm getting at with that 1980s Atlanta team is that all the talent is there, right? You just got to find a way to get the talent to gel, right? That was my point of it. That's the reason why I said that 1980s Atlanta team.
They gelled, but the other teams were better. Who would you rather have? You'd rather have the Atlanta Hawks roster or the Boston roster?
Yeah.
Or the Detroit roster. I'd rather have the Detroit and the Boston roster before the Atlanta roster. Absolutely.
Okay.
Outside of Dominique, and I was a fan of Spud Webb. I thought his change of pace, coming in style. I was a fan of him, but
and John Bagley and Doc Rivers.
No, I wasn't a fan of them.
You wasn't a fan of John Bagley?
No.
Oh wow.
Neither Doc. Doc was a good player, but no.
But Doc was an elite athlete that wore down over time. You could see his athleticism leave.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying?
They weren't good. They weren't good enough. Remember this. They're in that series against Boston, where the final Game 7 showdown with Dominique and Larry.
Right.
Atlanta was up 3-2 going back to Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay.
They never won another game.
No, they did not.
Right.
No, they did not.
And then the next season they traded for Moses Malone. Remember that?
And I never want to use the term washed. He wasn't washed, but he wasn't that Moses anymore.
And he wasn't the type of player they needed.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry.
No, he wasn't the type of thing because they were still young and vibrant and up and down. They just didn't need. They needed to break up that Tree Rollins, Kevin Willis tandem to me.
Right.
Because Tree Rollins was just a major screen guy.
Right.
Not a great rebounder.
Nope.
You know, could block shots, yes.
He was a very smart player, though. Very smart player. He's a very smart player.
But you're going up against Jordan, Pippen, Grant.
Yeah.
Let's just think about that for a second. 3 of the best defenders at their position under 25 years old.
Right. Right.
Jordan, Pippen, Grant.
Right. Now you ain't got to sell me on it. I already understand. That's the reason why I'm saying this thing about Boston, right? Where Boston is right now, at the precipice, right? But they can't get over the hump. It's not an external issue with Boston. It's an internal issue with Boston. They can't get over the hump. And what I'm saying about the Atlanta Hawks is they knew what their issue was. Their issue was at any given time, you can double team Dominique Wilkins and no other player could go off for 30 or 40. Kevin Willis was a great baked potato to a steak dinner, right? But Kevin Willis was not out there ISOing You know what I'm saying?
Can't
Going and
believe
getting
it
you
was the sour
buckets
cream and chives. Did you stop it?
and bacon,
Did you stop it?
heavy pepper and butter, right? Yeah, but my thing is you could if you could guard Atlanta on the perimeter, the interior was not going to give you anything. Moses Malone, to his credit, was a great offensive rebounder, but Moses Malone did not have an offensive skill package. Moses Malone was going to get like 24 and 19.
By
You know
that,
what I'm saying?
well, by that time, at that point in his career, he's not Philly Moses.
Nah. The first half of that first season, the first half of that first season, you could see glimpses of maybe he can turn back, because when he was his last year in Philly, he looked washed, remember? And then in Atlanta, those first 30 games, like, okay, he looked like he turned back the clock. Maybe Jack Layman and them boys was doing him dirty.
Well, he puts up decent numbers, but the thing is,
but he wasn't impactful, like, to your point.
Yeah, he wasn't that guy anymore. And when they traded him, he was pissed off. But winning it for them in '83, that was it. It was kind of like how that when Dallas won with Dirk. Dirk exhaled.
And now he could just cast checks.
And he was different.
Yeah.
You could look at Dallas when Dallas wins it in 11 to when does Dirk retire? In 16, 17, something like that? Something like that. Them last 4 or 5 years.
Like David Robinson. Remember San Antonio's first champion?
Yeah.
The second championship, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the first championship when they beat us. The first championship when they beat us in the finals. You knew that was the end of the road for David Robinson. He was like, okay. Again, I got my ring.
I've done what I've come to do.
Right.
You know, Dirk played like he was at the poolside the rest of that. Not to diminish him, you know, but it changes. In 80, the same thing like with 83. Philly was not the same anymore. And they drafted Barkley the following year.
Yeah.
Think about that. Barkley comes onto a championship winning team.
Yeah.
I don't remember how they got that pick. I can't remember, like, was it a future pick that Philly held on to or whatever, but he comes on to Andrew Toney, Doc, Moses, Ivoroni, Maurice
Bobby
Cheeks,
Jones.
He comes onto a championship team.
Greatest wing defender ever, bro. I don't care what nobody says, bro. People can talk to me about Scottie Pippen all they want.
He's not Scottie Pippen.
Bro, what? You know Bobby Jones was 6'10", right?
I get that's all of that. There's no Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, man. That dude was.
There's
that dude's
no
defense
Scottie
was.
Pippen in NBA history.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What?
No. Defensively.
So 87 Dennis Rodman is not better than Scottie.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
no, he's not.
Yeah, come on.
And that's no disrespect. And that's no disrespect to Dennis. No, not at all. Dennis was a great defender in those early Pistons. He was a great defender his whole career. But Scottie was something different.
Right.
You could put Scottie on virtually anybody that was going to bring up the ball, that was going to be on either side of the wing. You know, you could put him on there. He's going to give them nightmares.
Any stretch fours, he was.
Look at his arms. Look at his arms.
Yeah.
Wingspan ridiculous. 6'8", fast, uber athletic.
Yeah.
Could handle the ball. I'm just talking about. Well, you know, let me scratch that point. I'm just talking about from a straight defensive. Remember with Kukoc in the Olympics, what they did to him?
Right.
When they double teamed him.
Right.
No,
I'm just saying, Scottie was great. Now, I'm not saying that Scottie doesn't belong in a conversation, but I'm saying Rodman, Bobby Jones, Scottie. I think they're all in the same conversation. I like Bobby Jones because Bobby Jones would guard everybody, 1 through 5.
I'll give you another wing defender that I'd take over them. Derek McKee.
I like Derek McKee also.
Very underrated. Derek McKee at 6'10", and I mean Derek McKee even before he got to Indiana.
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Very good defender.
Very good defender and could guard 1 through 5.
Yes,
He guard 1 through 5.
underrated. He was also a point forward. Very underrated.
I remember he blocked Pat Ewing dunk. Pat Ewing, I never forget, bro. I saw Pat Ewing like trying to pump fake him, and Derek McKee wouldn't jump. And so for some reason, Pat Ewing just blew by him. Blow by Derek McKee, and Pat cocked it back to get ready to dunk. And Derek McKee swats his dunk out of bounds, like, and then looks
Derek
at
McKee
Pat.
was tough.
Yeah.
I always thought he could have scored a bit more, but he was just kind of in that.
Unselfish.
He was too unselfish.
Right.
He was too unselfish. I always thought that those Indiana teams against the Knicks in that 93, 94 era there, 95, Derek McKee was very, very tough. Very tough.
He was a great player, bro. If we had a Derek McKee on this roster, I would say we would be the NBA champs because we got everything else.
If you flip it around and you move Derek McKee for Charles Smith, I think you're winning a championship. I think you win.
Charles Smith was a great was a good NBA player too. I think he get a bad rap for that one play.
He's miscasted, and what 30 years, it's 30 years, and to the year, he was just miscasted.
With the Knicks, they asked him to be.
They
asked that man to play small forward. Man, that man had to. First of all, he had to lose 20 pounds when he got here.
Yes.
Right. So he had to lose 20 pounds when he got here. You got him playing the 3, where now that man was a center in college at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Right now you trying to turn him into a Robert Horry, right? You know what I'm saying? Throw him out there defending everybody, spot up 3-point shooter, 3 and D. But AD, I gotta run, brother.
All right, sir.
I gotta get out of here. Paris Tucker says, how do you think we can beat the Bucks at 6'4"? I think Tibbs has something up his sleeve.
We'll see. But anyway, thank you again for joining us on a Sunday. We don't know where this started, but we know where it ended. Ended with you, Garvey. In the whirlwind.
Peace, y'all. Peace, everybody. Where's the button at? You know what? Let me do this while I look for the button.
Yeah. Look out your window. Knicks fans is on your block.